If you've ever paid $4 for a latte just because your milk frother couldn't make real foam at home, this video fixes that for good. Milk frothing is one of the easiest wins in your whole coffee setup, and most people either skip it entirely or buy the wrong milk frother and give up after a week because the foam collapses in 90 seconds or the motor dies after a month of daily use. I looked at what's actually available in the US right now and picked 8 brands that consistently deliver real barista quality foam without falling apart or ending up in a drawer. These cover every budget, from $10 to $200, so there's a real pick here no matter where you're starting. I judge these on 3 things that actually matter, not marketing. Does the foam hold its texture long enough to actually drink your coffee, not collapse into flat milk in a minute? Does the motor or heating element survive daily use for years instead of months? And does the price match what you're actually getting? Or are you paying for a brand name stamped on the same generic internals as everything else on the shelf? Quick thing before we get into it, hit like and subscribe now, because if you're not, you're going to miss the next breakdown and probably end up buying the wrong thing without knowing it. Number 8, Bodum. Their handheld and pump-style frothers have been around for decades for a reason. Simple mechanical design, almost nothing to break, and foam that's consistently good even though the price tag is basically an afterthought. There's no battery to die and no motor to burn out, which means this thing is genuinely one of the only frothers on this list you could hand down. If you want the least complicated way into good foam, this is it. And yes, it works fine with plant-based milks too, which is more than you can say for a lot of mechanical frothers in this range. Number 7, Zulay Kitchen. This is the handheld frother that quietly took over kitchens across the US, mostly because of one thing: the motor is genuinely stronger than what you'd expect at this price. It handles both dairy and oat milk without stalling out halfway through, which is where a lot of cheap frothers fail first. If you're using barista oat milk or other plant-based milks regularly, this one handles the thicker consistency better than most in this category. The whisk head is also replaceable on its own, so when it eventually wears down after heavy use, you're not throwing out the whole unit. Number 6, PowerLix. Very similar category to Zulay, and just as reliable, but with a slightly more durable whisk head that holds up better over years of daily use. The battery life is also noticeably longer per charge, which matters more than people expect once you're using this every single morning. If Zulay's ever sold out, this is the one I'd grab without hesitation. Number 5, Instant. Yes, the same company behind the Instant Pot. Their milk frother carries over the same philosophy: multiple modes in one machine, hot foam, cold foam, and warm milk, built with the kind of reliable heating element that company is known for. It also hits that ideal temperature range baristas aim for, around 140 to 150 degrees Fahrenheit or 60 to 65 Celsius, which is the sweet spot where milk proteins create stable foam without scorching. The interior is also easy to actually clean, which sounds minor until you own a frother where dried milk residue slowly ruins the mechanism. It's the frother for people who want one button to just handle it. Number 4, Secura. This is the electric standalone option that punches well above its price, hot and cold settings, a non-stick interior that actually stays non-stick after real use, and a motor that holds up under daily runs far longer than similarly priced competitors. It also runs quiet enough that it won't wake anyone up during an early morning coffee run, which is a detail most brands never mention, but every early riser actually cares about. This is the one I'd point a beginner toward if they want something automatic without the premium price. Number 3, Breville Milk Cafe. Once you step up into Breville's price range, you get real temperature control and multiple froth textures dialed in specifically for different drinks. Cappuccino foam versus a flat white microfoam versus a hot chocolate froth. The microfoam this thing produces is genuinely latte art quality, the kind of tight, glossy texture that a barista would be comfortable pouring over espresso. It's built like Breville builds everything: stainless steel, genuinely serviceable, and made for someone who takes their morning coffee seriously enough to want precision instead of guesswork. If you've ever watched a barista work a steam wand and wondered how to get that same texture at home, this is the closest you'll get without one. Number 2, Nespresso Aeroccino. If you already own an espresso machine, this is the frother that was built to sit right next to it within that Nespresso ecosystem, one-touch operation, consistent results every single time, and enough integration that using anything else starts to feel like extra work. It's not the most powerful motor on this list, but for pod machine users specifically, it's the most seamless, and replacement parts are still easy to find years after purchase. And number 1, KitchenAid's Milk Frother Attachment. This earns the top spot for a very specific reason. If you already own a KitchenAid stand mixer, you're one accessory away from cafe-quality, barista-quality foam without adding another appliance to your counter. The KitchenAid stand mixer ecosystem is built around exactly this kind of modularity, and this attachment is one of the better arguments for it. For anyone trying to keep their kitchen from turning into a graveyard of single-purpose gadgets, this is the smartest buy on the entire list because it uses a motor you already trust and already own. So which one should you actually buy? If you're just starting out and want to spend under $20, Zulay or PowerLix will genuinely surprise you. If you want a dedicated machine that just works every morning, Secura or Instant covers that. If you're already deep into the Nespresso or KitchenAid ecosystem, buy the accessory built for what you already own instead of adding a 9th device to your counter. Here's the pattern across this whole list. None of these are trying to be everything. Each one does milk foam well for a specific kind of kitchen and a specific kind of user, and that focus is exactly why they hold up. That's the 8. If you've got one of these already, let me know in the comments how it's held up. And if there's a brand you think deserves a spot on this list, tell me. I read every comment.